The Dallas Cowboys will reportedly release quarterback Tony Romo on Thursday, just in time for the start of free agency. To break it down, we welcome in Luke Rogers. Luke is the NFL insider for 24/7 Sports. All right, Luke, with Tony Romo heading out of Big D, where do you think his next stop will be?
Well, Nick, I think this is going to be the biggest domino to fall. We also had news today that Tyrod Taylor is going to stay in Buffalo, but I don't feel like Buffalo was ever really a destination for Tony Romo. The guy's 37 years old. He's going to want to play with a contender. So I still think it really comes down to Denver and what Denver wants to do at the quarterback position, and possibly Houston. Those two teams have top-flight defenses. They're contenders, and those two teams are probably a piece or two away from being a team that could make a run to the Super Bowl. You know, there's also the idea that if Washington were to move Kirk Cousins to San Francisco, like a lot of the chatter in the league is about, there may be an opening in division for Washington, but I really think that's probably a long shot for Romo. He wants to go to contender. You know, John Elway has a history of bringing in guys like Peyton Manning to compete right away. They have a good defense. Houston, the same thing. They've got Brock Osweiler. They're not going to release him this year because they owe him too much money. But there's an option there with the league's #1 defense and all those young weapons there for Tony Romo to be the piece that puts them over the top. I really think it's going to be those two places. Chicago Bears are supposedly all in on Mike Glennon. So this is going to be one of the biggest dominoes. Once Tony Romo falls, I think everything else in this quarterback carousel seems to fall in place. Guys like Colin Kaepernick, guys like Brian Hoyer. I think we see those guys find jobs after Romo goes. I really believe it has to be Denver or Houston at this point.
For more on this breaking story, the Dallas Cowboys set to release Tony Romo and all things NFL free agency. Keep it locked here, 24/7 Sports and CBS Sports.